Greetings YouTube, family, friends, and survivors. Doing a little chipping here, and we deliberately cut some stuff on the mill and wane boards that normally would have got thrown into the slash pile. We deliberately cut a couple extra cuts to get the wane boards a little more narrow, to see if they'd fit in the chipper throat like that and how it would chip. And I don't have new knives on this thing, but let's see how it works. looks pretty good to me. But what I found out about cutting the dry stuff, that's hard, dry, old fir, and this is a very old set of knives. And if I was going to do a lot of the wane boards off the mill, especially fir, and if I wasn't doing it right away, I'd probably spend the money on the carbide knives. But for what I'm doing, that was just a test to see if it was reasonable. The biggest thing is what's best and healthiest for the garden. So I've discovered, again, another great discovery, how well this chipper works with the dead pine trees, the beetle kills that we're wanting to get out. Like you see, the top of that fir tree is flagged out. It's under stress. Don't know why. It could be drought stress, or it could be beetles. More than likely it's drought stress. But this year, rather than cutting anything green for our firewood, we're going to do the whole thing from standing dead. And the coolest thing that happens when you cut a dead fir or a dead pine it's been standing dead long enough that the needles actually fall off the limbs. The pine especially is really soft, and this motor doesn't even slow down, and it grabs a pine limb about that big around, and as it pulls it in, all the little limbs, pencil-sized stuff, rather than bending and getting stuck in the chipper throat like the green stuff does, they just snap off, and there's a big old pile of sticks here. It looks like a pack rat nest. So I found that if I take that pile of sticks and I just stomp on it, it breaks it into kibbled pieces, and then when I drop it in here, it feeds without hanging up, and all the green stuff in this end hangs up, but the bone dry stuff just goes right in. So I'll show you the difference. This is from dry fir wane boards with a little bit of bark. You can see a little wane. Wane is where the bark's showing on one side. And I'll take you up and show you the other pile. This pile here is dead standing ponderosa pine. Limbs about 2 inches all the way down to pencil size. And then the tendrils on those limbs break up like that. And it just, when it goes through the shredder side, it kibbles them like this, which is still just fine. I think it's better to use the stuff that's already decomposing, the standing dead, rather than the green for mulch. That way when you're watering, you're not mixing that really hot leafy green stuff and going down and messing with the pH balance and the nitrogen balance of your soil. So if you're using the dead stuff, I think it's better for it. And that's just a guess. I'm not an expert. I don't know. The other thing is it chips so much easier than the wane boards. I think what I'll do with the wane boards is I'll just keep cutting those up for the wood cook stove. It's great for a fast fire in the morning for making coffee or eggs or something when you don't want to fire all day long. That's why we have the 2 wood stoves. One to heat the house in the winter, the other one to cook on, and what we call fast fire, morning or evening fast fire. So I'll just go ahead and bundle this stuff up. And I've got another 1.25 cords, maybe 1 3/4 of wane boards like this, set aside just for the wood cook stove. And I think for the mulching on the garden, I'm going to go ahead and use the dry standing fir and pine. So much easier on the chipper, and I think it's going to be better for the soil. Hope this helps somebody. Had a few folks contact me and say, hey, how come you don't chip the stuff coming off your mill? And to make it a real viable thing, I would have to have a commercial chipper. This 8 horsepower, it's going to be pretty hard on it. and then I'd have to process so much to get the boards narrow enough down to go down through the chipper throat. So that's kind of what we've decided to do. Good outcome on both, but better with the standing dead trees. All right, again, I hope this answers your questions. Have a very blessed day.